That's a hard question, because I feel like a child saying, tell me the qualities of your mum. You know, the child says, oh, they're very good to me. My mum's really good to me. You know, that's about all they can say. I feel like he's doing so much work for me personally and everybody else that we can't know, we can't see. I just think the opportunity to come is now. You know, I don't think anyone would regret it if you're wanting, genuinely wanting a spiritual life and to progress in bhakti yoga, in particular in this path, then you know, this is the only place to come.
Growing up, I always thought that there's more to life, and I didn't quite fit in with kids my age. I had a lot of questions that even I didn't know that I had. Like, is there life after death? What happens after you die? And how to conduct oneself, right? As long as you're alive, and what this world really is. But he just makes it so simple. And tum maa baap se kaise pyar karti ho? Like, however you love your loved ones in the world, the same thing you can do to God, and there's no like distance between you and God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But Maharaj is saying that, you know, God's your friend and He's always there with you, and you're never alone.
Yeah, I don't see it as Hinduism. I see it as spirituality, as the pursuit of seeking real pure love, guided by a true saint. And so I would say to people that are trying to silo it to Hinduism or to a religion, that would be the wrong way to think about it. In that when you're searching for God, you're searching for love. And Maharaj is the pinnacle of that. He's day in, day out for 92 years, served everyone, served humanity, and that's what I love about Maharaj, yeah.
Just love Maharaji, love him. He's divine, he's real. He's feeling emotional.
It's a feeling that will come to you. It's totally different from worldly. It's totally different from worldly. It's real love, divine love. Divine love is different from worldly love.
One of the things that I think is really amazing about coming to the sadhana is the fact that, you know, you actually disconnect from the world. You don't think about work, you don't think about family. Your whole focus is on what you want to do here. And actually the way it's planned, the way the whole program works, it doesn't give you any time to think about anything else. And then when you go back and you're enjoying yourself and you're getting in the rasa of it, and it's only when you go back that you realize how precious it was.
I think coming to India and sitting down and doing Rup Dhyan, doing sadhana, there's a certain energy in this place that allows you to connect a lot easier than what you would be able to back in, you know, Western society. And yeah, that goes for all my experiences here in India have been very special, and, you know, have allowed me to connect in a way that, yeah, basically you just can't find elsewhere.
You know, like I said, I left South Africa on a spiritual path. but it was like I got into a ship, but the captain was missing. And somehow, being in Vrindavan for 1 year, I ran around all over Vrindavan, not finding a place where I belonged. And all of a sudden, from nowhere, Maharaj just popped into my life. And the first time I went to Prem Mandir, I was shocked because an inner voice said, I'm home. You know, in the Western world, we tend to sell our souls to the corporates and to money and to material things. And I think when you find Maharajji and you understand his philosophy and you get deeper and deeper and you use him as your guide, your guru, because once you have him, you have a captain and your ship's going to go somewhere.
I'm Rania from Myanmar. We are living in a very dangerous situation, and we can even cross the immigration. If you don't have all of the evidence that you are going to somewhere. I know him through Sanskar channel since 2002. This is the first time for me here in Mangar. He teach me so many things. Like, you have to see, our beloved God and Guru in each and every individual. So, and, also speak less, speak sweetly. It has, a hidden meaning. Like, if we speak less, we will get, we'll give ourselves a moment to reflect. I feel very, I can, foster a deeper connection with God, by doing Roop Dhyan, sitting in that sadhana hall, it's, the environment is quite uplifting.
Kind of, when you go back home, it's so important that you realize that this sadhana, to go to this and attending sadhana like twice a year, because it totally changes your perspective, and it just makes you like recommit yourself.
That for me, it resets it. It resets my sadhana habits. Obviously, I'm not going to do that intensive sadhana at home, but it resets what is important, how much we should be putting a value on our sadhana. And so obviously, given time, we start losing that. So that's why we have to come back to the sadhana to reset ourselves.
So as you rightly started, Maharaj ji का जो पूरा क्वेश्चन ही चालू होता है कि व्हाट डू यू वांट, वहाँ एक्चुअली वहाँ से हमारा कनेक्शन चालू होता है कि वी आर वर्किंग सो मच, वी आर चेजिंग डिग्रीज, वी आर चेजिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स, वी आर अकम्प्लिशिंग ऑल्सो, बट फॉर व्हाट? हम पा भी लेते हैं, फिर एट द एंड सपोज हमारा टारगेट है कुछ, हमने अचीव कर लिया, फिर व्हेन वी सी कि नेक्स्ट टारगेट इमीडिएटली कम्स अप कि हम भाई ये बन गए, अब हमें ये बनना है, या ये प्रोजेक्ट कर लिए, अब ये करना है. तो महाराज जी वही बताते हैं कि what you are looking for is happiness, and you will not get by achieving various sorts of things. बहुत infinite happiness चाहते हैं, because we keep on getting sorrowful even after achieving various things. तो वो महाराज जी फिर उसको अचीव करने के लिए सारी फिलॉसफी बताते हैं कि भाई तुम्हें भक्ति करना है, शरणागति करना है, और इस तरीके से आप माइंड प्यूरिफिकेशन करिए, फिर एट द एंड आपको बाय गुरु एंड गॉड्स ग्रेस यू विल अचीव दैट. यू कैन डू साधना जो महाराज जी बता रहे हैं, घर में भी आप कर सकते हो. महाराज जी तो मन की साधना बताते हैं, तो वहाँ जाने की क्या ज़रूरत है. सो हियर व्हाट आई फील आर टू थिंग्स. लाइक यहाँ लगभग अगर अपन देखें 10 आवर प्लस की साधना अपने को होल डे में मिल जाती है, साधना प्लस लेक्चर्स. इतना घर में अगर छुट्टी रह के भी करना इज़ नॉट दैट ईजी. यहाँ पे थोड़ा फास्ट पेस में अपने को रहना पड़ता है, तुरंत जल्दी जल्दी सुबह उठो, ये करो, क्योंकि और वी गेट मोटिवेशन. इवन वेरी ओल्ड पीपल आर डूइंग लाइक फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग. तो उससे एक पहली बात तो मोटिवेशन आती है उतना लंबा साधना करने के लिए. तो अब अपन जैसे यहाँ पे 1 हफ्ते का प्रोग्राम कर लिए, तो अपना कुछ टाइम तक जब जाएंगे तो वो माइंड में रहेगा कि हाँ भाई अपने को ये अपना गोल है और ये वे है, तो अपने को साधना इस तरीके से कंटिन्यूस भी रखना है.
Definitely he is here. He is here. He is watching us. He is listening to us. He is protecting us. I always feel that protection over my head with him. Anytime I'm sad, nervous, angry, happy, any feelings, I always feel Maharaj with me. And there are so many in my life, I have gone through a lot of different phases where I felt Maharaj Ji made it happen for me. He's protecting me, and he's listening to me. So he's definitely here. He's definitely with us. So never think that he's not with you. He's here.
कि तुम भगवान की मूर्ति के सामने बैठ के साधना करो, ऐसा नहीं। हम कुर्सी पर बैठे और आधे राधे बैठे करके साधना हो रही।
My name is Tina Robertson Christie and I'm from Australia. To advance my spiritual growth, that's the main reason. And so, you know, if we want to advance more than at home, then this is the place to come. Plus, when you're not having that powerful association as you can have here, it can be very hard to, stay on track, even though we have satsang 4 or 5 times a week in the evenings and on the weekends, and we do our sadhana every morning. Even still, it's just not the same. The whole program is full on, there's not really any time to rest. You can rest if you want to, but you can take advantage of everything as well. And for us, it's been such a long time. We feel like we really want to, take advantage of everything that's here. And every day, the deities are just give their energy, their time, everything. The food, the, Sankirtan, everything. And, we're so fortunate. Yes, I think the big thing is if you have faith, this is Guru Dham. So you can't get this energy anywhere else in the world, actually. So you come here and you're just surrounded by that energy. So you can't help but progress. And even I've seen people be challenged, it's all internally, in your own mind. But that's such a grace too. Everything's just for your own benefit, and it just really shows you where you are. And it's beautiful. The kirtans are beautiful, and because that energy is there, you can really progress a lot. You can get very deep. It's quite hard to do that sometimes, in your own environment, and here there's that special energy as well. Maharaji, Sri Maharaji is a true saint. He's Hari Guru. And so, if you have the faith that that's the case, he just shows it in so many ways. Personally, inside, outside, everything. So that's a hard question, because I feel like a child saying, tell me the qualities of your mum. The child says, oh, they're very good to me. My mum's really good to me. That's about all they can say. I feel like he's doing so much work for me personally and everybody else that we can't know, we can't see. I just think the opportunity to come is now. And, I don't think anyone would regret it if you're genuinely wanting a spiritual life and to progress in bhakti yoga, in particular in this path, then this is the only place to come.
My name is Gaius and I'm from Australia. For me, it started when I was probably about 3 years old. I was introduced via my parents to Swami Govindananda, who was actually coming to a local town hall to do a lecture. And off the back of that, we basically fell in love with Maharaji and Bhakti Yoga, and it sort of snowballed from there. For me, it's been a mental guideline on how to think, how to act, and how to behave in the world. And I think we all can appreciate the challenges of living within the world, and to have that sort of education and that understanding, I think allows me to go about my day-to-day life in a way that I can reflect and hopefully be proud of, if you will. But yeah, I think coming to India and sitting down and doing Rup Dhyan, doing sadhana, there's a certain energy in this place that allows you to connect a lot easier than what you would be able to back in Western society. And yeah, that goes for all my experiences here in India have been very special, and have allowed me to connect in a way that, basically you just can't find elsewhere. To me, Rup Dhyan is obviously putting your mind on Guru and God, but Bhakti for me has been, again, a mental guideline on how to think and how to act and how to apply the teachings to your daily life. And yeah, absolutely. It's nothing. It's nothing but admirable, totally admirable, and I really don't have the words to describe how beautiful it is, and the association, how important that is when you are with them. Deities, it's totally like they are not human beings, they are something else, something above that, and that association is really hard to come by nowadays, and to have that opportunity is really amazing. I unfortunately never had the opportunity to meet Maharaji in person, but his teaching lives on through his videos, his books, pads, kirtans, and everything that he's been able to put out, and especially the buildings and temples and the museum that's coming. It's all of Maharaji's teachings are still so prevalent in what exists today. So it really does feel like he's still here, and even though I didn't get to meet him, I come to Mangar and it's just like he's still here.
Yes, hi, I'm Bevan Robertson Christie, and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, I don't see it as Hinduism. I see it as spirituality, as the pursuit of seeking real pure love, guided by a true saint. And so I would say to people that are trying to silo it to Hinduism or to a religion, that would be the wrong way to think about it. And that when you're searching for God, you're searching for love. And Maharaji he's able to distill that and make that so clear. Words can't describe Maharaji, so yeah, Bhakti is a real challenge. It's the opposite of the world. It really it gives you a sanctuary outside of the world, outside of the day-to-day routine of work, in our instance, running a business, all of those sorts of things. Bhakti and Guru provides us with, the sanctuary that's outside of the world, the true knowledge. Going to the hall, doing meditation, doing Rup Dhyan it's a massive challenge. You're challenged by your own mind. You're challenged by the environment, your own limitations, etc. So you have moments where you feel like you're really connected, and you have moments where you're completely disconnected. And that's the challenge. That's the challenge that Maharaji lays down, is to surrender, not to try and put pressure on yourself to be the best meditator or the best devotee, but realize that you're not, that you are fallen, and really trying to, have those feelings come up naturally. The philanthropic side of JKP is inspiring. To come to India from Australia especially, to see the poverty, to see the distress, but to see JKP get right behind that, with Maharaji, the deities, we're very proud to be a part of that. It's very, very special. Words can't describe how, amazing it is to be able to, as a Westerner, to have the opportunity to be able to give and provide financial sewa on the whole. We haven't been here to be able to volunteer for that service, but we'd love to do that in the future for sure. Yeah. So Maharaji and the deities and JKP, this path that we're on is, the way that I see it is that there's two paths. There's the world, and there's the path of bhakti, the path of love. And I've failed in the world to try and achieve love and true love that JKP, Maharaji, the deities espouse. And so a fellow satsang said to me that he was totally checkmated, couldn't move. And so the only move was towards love, towards Maharaji. And I feel exactly the same way. I've been checkmated as well. Totally trumped. I have nowhere to go. And so this path is my only path. It's natural. It's hard, but it's very natural. And it's hard only because of our fickleness in our minds and the challenges of the discipline, I guess, that we struggle with. And Maharaj is the pinnacle of that. He's day in, day out for 92 years, served everyone, served humanity, and that's what I love about Maharaji, yeah.
My name is Asmita Bhattarai and I'm from Toronto, Canada. So I was first introduced to Maharaji's philosophy through Sateshwari Didi in the year 2016. So I've been associated with Maharaji's philosophy and been in satsang since then. There was a whole bunch of reasons I can't really put into words properly. Growing up, I always thought that there's more to life, and I didn't quite fit in with kids my age, and I always was like the black sheep, and people thought I was weird, and I was like a loner, and I got bullied a lot, and so I thought like, oh, maybe I thought I was depressed, and I didn't feel like there was a sense of purpose for me. I'm not very highly ambitious, so when I heard about Maharaji's philosophy and what the human life is about and what our purpose is, and it just sort of kind of made sense to me, and I had a lot of questions that even I didn't know that I had. Like, is there life after death? What happens after you die? And how to conduct oneself, right? As long as you're alive, and what this world really is. And I was just really confused because I was like, people don't really seem to be how they are and, what they really are like. And so I just felt like this world was just a lot of pretend. And I just wanted to know more, I guess. And I didn't know that I wanted to know more, but Maharaj's philosophy sort of gave me that insight as to what it really was, and answered a lot of those questions that were in me and I didn't even know that I had them. Yeah. The way of life is very different in Canada, and I think I'm very spoiled back home. Over here, the first couple of days I was very impressed by how clean the place is, and people are doing their seva dedicatedly. Any bit of time I see anyone, I'm very impressed, and I'm just so inspired by how people are conducting themselves and how they're taking care of the ashram. And for me, it's really like how disciplined the lifestyle is here. You wake up at a certain time. There's a certain schedule to be followed. And Shri Maharaji had said that this maun sadhana, the sadhana of silence, really, you're keeping to yourself, so that at least whatever you've gained, in sadhana sessions, in class sessions, or with these association, you're just learning, and you're getting so much without even asking. And a lot of the things I think I probably will realize after I leave, because I'm just taking it all in right now. But I think it's important because then you get to introspect and reflect on the teachings of Maharajji and the lectures that are being played and the beautiful bhajans and kirtans. Maharajji's written those. I don't think it's humanely possible, right? Like even on a smaller scale, when I look at, like, I work in a company in a corporate setting, but even then, like, just waking up on time just to get in, and reach office by like 9 a.m. in the morning is like, oh my God, do I have to do this every day? And then there are days when you sort of, let's just leave it at that. But these are so dedicated to Maharajji's work and all his philanthropic activities and spiritual activities. And these are sort of just, I don't know, I look at them in such awe that, I mean, despite of how regardless of how they're feeling, I'm just so thankful to them, because it really does inspire people like me. And when I revisit any of his books or any of his lectures or any of his discourses, really, I find that there's something new to take away each time. So I can't really say that I'm not learned. I don't think I can speak on his philosophy really, but yeah, he explains such, complex things and complex philosophies in such simple ways that, like, Bhagwan se bas pyar karo, right? And there's a lot of things to be said in that, but he just makes it so simple. And tum maa baap se kaise pyar karti ho? Like, however you love your loved ones in the world, the same thing you can do to God, and there's no like distance between you and God and things like that. And don't ever feel alone. I used to feel alone a lot because I didn't have friends growing up, and so I used to think, I'm sorry. How come there isn't somebody that thinks like me, or am I just weird? I'm so sorry. But Maharajji's saying that, God's your friend and He's always there with you, and you're never alone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, because in the West, people, live a certain lifestyle that I never resonated with. All this partying and frivolous activities, I never could relate to that, because I was like, there should be a point in everything that you're doing, right? It should have some sense and purpose to it. And I thought, like, my mom used to say, apni umar ki jaise act karo. You're like wise beyond your years. Why are you already like an auntie? But I just think that there has to be, and it's fun, just envisioning that, okay, Thakurji's right next to me. He's given me this life, and I get to spend it with him, and and I'm not alone. That's comforting in a lot of ways.
Hina,
Hina.
Hina, and you're from Dallas.
Dallas. I'm married, and we have a business. So I have a role in our business. So I do the financing and the logistics. So I've been doing that for a while in a family business. So with Maharajji, I don't know, it's like just instant love, like, he just pulled me, I guess, because I was always inclined to spirituality, and ever since I was little, I grew up in US, and I used to read Ramayana and other scriptures, and we do Aarti at evening time. So we had our tradition, and I liked it, and I always had love for Krishna. And when I first got introduced to Maharajji's philosophy, it really just touched my heart. But with Maharajji, instantly it just clicked. And then I wanted to hear more. I wanted to, the kirtans, the philosophy, the kirtans are so touching. And then I went to Radha Madhav Dham in Austin when he was there in 2007. And having his association was just a life changer for me. the schedule seems almost impossible for a human to go with this schedule, but I'm up at 2 o'clock. And then I go for the Zoom at 2:30, 2:40 about, and the day starts there, and I sleep maybe 3 hours, and then a nap is half an hour maybe if I'm able to sleep, but too excited I can't sleep. But I don't feel tired either. It's just that magic is there. There's a magic here that just keeps you awake and all energized, and the more time you spend in sadhana hall, the more energy I feel like I'm getting, and you don't feel tired at all, and Maharaj has created this sadhana program for 35 days, but it seems very intimidated, like, that many days, but it's possible, it gives you a lot of benefits, because the more you sit down, the more Rup Dhyan you do, you get more benefit. These are my role models. They show us how to serve selflessly, and what they do is not humanly possible. I feel like they're going around the clock. They're up since 12 a.m. and they do so much. They do a lot of different types of activities. They do a lot of distributions. They create these sadhana programs for us to come and participate. And everything is so clean, on time. It's just amazing how these ashrams are running, and very like it's like so smooth, I would say. I have not seen anywhere anything like this, where everything's running so smooth, on time, and a lot of programs they're creating just for our benefits, because they don't need to do all this, but they're doing it just to for us to benefit out of this, and they're doing exactly what Maharaj Ji was doing. Definitely, he's here. He's here. He's watching us. He's listening to us. He's protecting us. I always feel that protection over my head with him. Anytime I'm sad, nervous, angry, happy, any feelings, I always feel Maharaj Ji with me. He's protecting me, and he's listening to me. So he's definitely here. He's definitely with us. So never think that he's not with you.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Jignasha and I'm from New Zealand.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Kinnari and I'm from New Zealand, but at the moment I'm in Fiji as well.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Hemu from USA.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Bina and from USA.
And you're saying USA from
Los Angeles.
One of the ways Maharaj Ji has made my life better is really around helping me understand when things don't go right. You know, we're living in a Western environment or busy working with family, and things don't always go right. And Maharaj Ji's teachings have helped me kind of understand this is temporary, and actually I am the person who's created the situation. So there's nothing to blame anybody else. You kind of come to an acceptance, and that allows you to put it aside and move on.
I used to be very stressful. You know, I didn't have things to worry about, but I found things to worry about. And given time, I've learned that things we can't control, there are lots of things we can't control. So why worry about it? And I think he has given me peace. And, you know, obviously love of Radha Krishna has changed how we deal with things, how, you know, either from monetary things to, you know, rushing to get things. Now, material things are not that important. Important is our relationship with the Guru, and also, you know, I think you put everything in perspective.
One of the things that I think is really amazing about coming to the sadhana is the fact that, you actually disconnect from the world. You don't think about work, you don't think about family. Your whole focus is on what you want to do here. And actually the way it's planned, the way the whole program works, it doesn't give you any time to think about anything else. And then when you go back and you enjoying yourself and you're getting in the rus of it, and it's only when you go back that you realize how precious it was. And then you have to kind of hoard it a little bit, because if you don't take care, it'll dissipate. It'll just dissipate like seeds in the wind.
Kind of when you go back home, it's so important that you realize that this sadhana, to go to this and attending sadhana like twice a year, because it totally changes your perspective, and it just makes you recommit yourself.
Sometimes I feel like, I haven't been on Zoom, and then you come back. But every time you come back, they have the motherly love, but in an intense way, that there is no criticism. You're back and they embrace you. And that's what you feel all the time. And even if they tell you that actually you need to improve your game, to do a bit more. And that's, it's coming from a place of wanting the best for you. And I feel that all the time. When they say anything, they might be saying it to somebody else, but I feel that's actually a learning for me. I need to do that.
My name is Danica, and I'm from South Africa. Mine is quite a funny story. I left South Africa and I decided at a point in my life that I want to follow a spiritual path. I had no guru, but I always had an inner spiritual strength. I moved to Rishikesh, and 3 months later, I thought, okay, I want to go to Vrindavan. So when I visited Vrindavan, I felt like, oh my God, this is home. There was just such a strong spiritual connection that I had there. And I took an apartment to rent. And after that, the apartment that I was renting, my room window used to face a huge picture of Maharaj. And at that time, I had no idea who Maharaj was. And I would look at his picture maybe 30 or 40 times a day. I don't know why, but I was very attracted to it. I went to one of the hospitals, the charity hospitals that Maharaj has established in Vrindavan. And I met the first doctor, and the first doctor said to me, have you heard of Kripalu Maharaj? And I was like, no, I haven't. I had a temperature of 102. She asked me if I knew Kripalu Maharaj. And I was like, 3 people, actually 4 people in one day, separate incidents, are asking me if I know Kripalu Maharaj. And then I looked around and all I could see was Maharaj's photos everywhere. I think what attracts me the most is his philosophy and the logical way in which he approaches spirituality. And I think his teachings and the fundamentalities of the way he puts it, it's common sense. And with Maharaj's philosophy, he says to us, you are not this mind, you are not this body, you are the soul. And for me, that resonated because we only look at my body, my clothes, my house, everything is my. And with him, he makes you realize that actually God resides in your heart. Your guru resides in your heart. And he notes down everything. So he teaches you in the sadhana program to be so aware of your thoughts. And I found that I was running around, like I said, I left South Africa on a spiritual path. But it was like I got into a ship, but the captain was missing. And somehow, being in Vrindavan for 1 year, I ran around all over Vrindavan, not finding a place where I belonged. And all of a sudden, from nowhere,
I'm Rania from Myanmar. I know him through Sanskar channel since 2002. This is the first time for me here in Mangar. he teach me so many things. Like, you have to see, our beloved God and Guru in each and every individual, so that, you will cultivate a sense of gratitude and serving. And, also speak less, speak sweetly. It has, a hidden meaning. Like, if we speak less, we will get, we'll give ourselves a moment to reflect so that we can carry, meaningful and positive words towards the other, right? Because, I can immerse myself, it's a great opportunity to immerse myself in bhakti, in devotions, and also deepen the spiritual knowledge, my understanding of spiritual knowledge of Shri Maharaj's. I feel very, I can, foster a deeper connection with God, by doing Rup Dhyan, sitting in that sadhana hall, it's, the environment is quite uplifting, and, and we can also see so many people are, following the same path, so they just motivate us to focus on more our devotion, Yeah, Didi smiles, and Didi warm smiles, just, and their love is just, melt me down. I lost my words for them. Their dedication towards Sri Maharaj, towards Sri Maharaj is indescribable, Didi.
मेरा नाम सौरभ श्रीवास्तव है, मैं बेंगलोर में आई एम 28, मैं डेटा साइंटिस्ट हूँ. सो मैं मर्सिडीज़ बेंज R&D में काम कर रहा हूँ, मोस्टली डीलिंग विथ एप्लीकेशंस रिलेटेड टू फॉर एग्जांपल ड्राइवर मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम. मतलब बचपन से ही मेरे यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा इंक्लिनेशन रहा है कि स्पिरिचुअल कंटेंट को कंज्यूम करने का. मेरे घर में मतलब अलग अलग लेक्चर्स चलते रहते थे. मतलब मैंने रिमेंबर बचपन में क्या होता था, तो महाराज जी के लेक्चर्स भी मुझे दिखते थे. सो आई गॉट नेचुरली अट्रैक्टेड टूवर्ड्स देम. और मुझे जब मैं महाराज जी के लेक्चर सुनता था तो बहुत ज़्यादा ही मतलब ट्रुथ से रिलेटेड लगते थे कि हाँ जो ये बोल रहे हैं. और पहली बात तो वो कोट करते थे इतना शास्त्रों को, और दूसरा बहुत इजीली अंडरस्टैंडेबल लैंग्वेज में, और फ़िलॉसफी उनकी रहती थी. और मोस्टली उनका फोकस क्योंकि माइंड वगैरह पे रहता था, सिर्फ रिचुअल्स पर नहीं, क्यों अपन कर रहे हैं जो भी कर रहे हैं. तो काइंड ऑफ मोर कनेक्शन आई फेल्ट, और फिर वो धीरे धीरे बिल्डअप होते रहा. सो एज यू राइटली स्टार्टेड, महाराज जी का जो पूरा क्वेश्चन ही चालू होता है कि व्हाट डू यू वांट. वहाँ एक्चुअली वहाँ से हमारा कनेक्शन चालू होता है कि वी आर वर्किंग सो मच, वी आर चेजिंग डिग्रीज, वी आर चेजिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स, वी आर अकम्प्लिशिंग ऑल्सो, बट फॉर व्हाट. हम पा भी लेते हैं, फिर एट दी एंड सपोज हमारा टारगेट है कुछ, हमने अचीव कर लिया, फिर व्हेन वी सी कि नेक्स्ट टारगेट इमीडिएटली कम्स अप कि हम भाई ये बन गए, अब हमें ये बनना है, या ये प्रोजेक्ट कर लिए, अब ये करना है. तो महाराज जी वही बताते हैं कि what you are looking for is happiness, and you will not get by achieving various sorts of things. Like कुछ भी आप material position पा लीजिए, या फिर कुछ थिंग को accomplish कर लीजिए उससे. and we realize that वो जो बता रहे हैं कि हमें happiness नहीं मिलती, वो हम realize करते हैं कि हाँ. और महाराज जी की definition of happiness which he quotes from Vedas is like infinite होना चाहिए, continuous होना चाहिए, इटर्नल होना चाहिए. वो हमें जो भी मिलता है सही में मिलता है यहाँ पे. वी गेट हैप्पीनेस, इंस्टेंट ब्लिस और डोजेज ऑफ हैप्पीनेस वी गेट. बट द डेफिनेशन विच महाराज जी गिव्स एंड विच ही कोट्स फ्रॉम वेदास इज दैट इटर्नल अनलिमिटेड हैप्पीनेस, वो हमें तो मिलता नहीं. यू कैन डू साधना जो महाराज जी बता रहे हैं, घर में भी आप कर सकते हो. महाराज जी तो मन की साधना बताते हैं, तो वहाँ जाने की क्या ज़रूरत है. सो हियर वॉट आई फील आर टू थिंग्स. लाइक यहाँ लगभग अगर अपन देखें 10 आवर प्लस की साधना अपने को होल डे में मिल जाती है, साधना प्लस लेक्चर्स. इतना घर में अगर छुट्टी रह के भी करना इज़ नॉट दैट ईजी. यहाँ पे थोड़ा फास्ट पेस में अपने को रहना पड़ता है, तुरंत जल्दी जल्दी सुबह उठो, ये करो, क्योंकि और वी गेट मोटिवेशन. इवन वेरी ओल्ड पीपल आर डूइंग लाइक फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग. तो उससे एक पहली बात तो मोटिवेशन आती है उतना लंबा साधना करने के लिए. एंड हियर वी ऑल्सो गेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑफ सेवा. लाइक कुछ भी छोटे छोटे वॉलंटियरिंग कर लो या फिर कुछ हेल्प कर दो इन सम फॉर्म, तो ये वहाँ रहना के करना, घर में रह के करना उतना फीजिबल नहीं है। ऑल्दो पॉसिबल है, आप ऑनलाइन सेवा वगैरह कर सकते हैं, बट हियर यू गेट द आउटवर्ड पुश टू डू बोथ दीज थिंग्स एम्फैटिकली। तो अब अपन जैसे यहाँ पे 1 हफ्ते का प्रोग्राम कर लिए, तो अपना कुछ टाइम तक जब जाएंगे तो वो माइंड में रहेगा कि हाँ भाई अपने को ये अपना गोल है और ये वे है। सी व्हाट आई हैव heard from him means lecture wise ही कि when you are surrendered he is actually with you, you don't have to मतलब इस पे तुम्हें कभी विश्वास खोना नहीं है। सो इन दैट रिस्पेक्ट आई फील कि ये चीज़ तो मैं वहाँ पर भी प्रैक्टिस कर सकता हूँ, मतलब जहाँ भी रह रहा हूँ, बट देयर इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द सराउंडिंग्स। यहाँ पर मैं सबको देख रहा हूँ, एक्चुअली दे आर लिविंग द लाइफ ऑफ साधना एंड दे आर एक्चुअली ट्राइंग टू फील द प्रेजेंस ऑफ महाराज जी एवरी टाइम एंड दे आर सिंसियर इनफ। सो इन दैट रिस्पेक्ट फ्रॉम द एनवायरमेंटल्स इफेक्ट ऑन यू, ये हेल्प करता है मेरे को फील करने के लिए कि महाराज जी इज़ मोर विथ मी, यहाँ से हायर पर्पस की तरफ वो ले जा रहे हैं और हेल्प कर रहे हैं मेरे को कहीं मैं फॉल ना कर जाऊँ इस तरीके से। ऐसा या आई लव महाराज जी लाइक एनीथिंग।